So before I do the paintwork on the, or prepare, whatever, with this front bib, I'm just going to trial fit it and make sure that it's all good. And work out, there's only a couple of screws holding it on, which are not enough. Work out some additional fixings, like at the bottom, because I just know for a fact if I ever get that caught on a curb and reverse, it's going to rip off, or yeah, something like that. So yeah, we just get that fitted nicely, and then we can deal with all the moulding, fiberglass moulding marks, get it all ready for paint. Fit it up nicely first. This is just some old zinc plated steel sheet, and I'm gonna make some sort of clip for clipping the bottom of the spoiler on. Let's just see how this this pans out. So cut out the strip of metal. I use the old tin snips to run along the edge, just to tidy up that outer edge. And these things are good, these are shears, and these are good for cutting through the middle of a tin sheet. There's a bit of a problem with the throat depth on these traditional sort of aero shears, tin snips, where you sort of get to the back of the throat, and then you've got to kick the metal up, whatever you're cutting up, over here to be able to continue through it. So it's much better to use these shears through a longer section of metal, because it just sort of kicks the, I don't know, the swarf, the scrap off it. The cutting action takes a, you know, takes a piece out of the middle, and it leaves you with a piece on the floor. No, sorry, a flat piece, or flatter piece. Otherwise this would be just be kicked up and you'd be struggling to get a straight line and whatnot. So that's just my choices of cutting equipment. This is just set up on a piece of angle iron. This is real sort of basics. Can't really get it with the camera as well. Curve that around there. Hopefully you get the idea. So just bent around like that, and now we'll see what we need to do about the length of this. So the idea is that goes out of focus. That clips up on the car, and this screws up onto the spoiler. I guess you'll see what I mean in a minute. I believe we have something like a solution. So the idea is that clips up into the car, onto the front lip. This sits on the inside of the bib, the spoiler, and we bolt up into it. This is a drilling jig. So clip this up on the outside of it first, mark the hole, take it off, or even drill the hole while it's still on there. Drill the hole while it's on there, take it off, pop that on the inside, and then screw it up. I'll show you on the car in a bit. And I did a sub-flush that, because obviously the riv nut, if that's sitting on it, would be rocking. I wanted that to sit flat. So it's a bit rough the first one, but I'll make 4 of these. Whether I make 3 more or 4 more, we'll see. I think that'll do the job. So what I want to try and do is make a better dimple. Does the job, but not quite centre, and it's not quite beautiful. So next step, I'm thinking a way of centering it with the bolt, and then using a smaller socket, one that actually fits inside of that socket. I need to turn this bolt down so that bolt fits through there. So I should just stick that in the drill and put a file on it and whittle it down. That's an 8mm, not a 10mm, otherwise I'd never have seen it again. This test piece, that is a bolt the size that fits through that socket, and the hole is the same size as the rivet I'm going to use. So the idea is we put that in there so we can centralise the plate, and then put the socket down there, and then bang ourselves a dimple. That's the word I was looking for, dimple. Right, so get him in there. I just can't do this easily with a tripod, so I'm going to need both my hands. Right, the idea is now that that's centralised, so we get this a hammer. And we have a nicer looking dimple. Not perfectly centre, but more centre than the last one. It's a bit of a cone to it. I'll just go and get a rivet nut. The hole has sort of enlarged itself because the sort of coning out of it. So what I might just try and do is just maybe just try and flatten that off a bit. Still a little bit wobbly. Yeah, it's a bit better. It's flush enough. What do you reckon? I'm talking to you. Got a nod from the camera. Right, so we're going to squeeze that rivet nut and see if it balloons out enough to give it a good purchase on that. Rather than waste a rivet nut, actually, I shall make myself another clip and repeat the process on an actual clip and see if we could get a good clip. Okay. I think yeah, the second one's an improvement. The second one, that's the first one. Still usable. So I've got my drill jig. We're going to look at getting these on the car. Right. So obviously this is the fiberglass. I don't just want it flapping around, so I want to be able to close that up there. So The idea here is to use a clip like that. Clip like that. So I can put that on there. That's all nicely tucked up around there. This is just a drill jig. So I put that on there, drill a hole through there. Then we get our pucker one, which then slides on the inside, locks onto there, like that. And then we screw it up, and then we've got a hidden fitting. So 2 per side. Alright, so that's the first 2 marked. And I've measured them so I can replicate it on the other side. Alright, so that's the first one in. This will be the second one. Label this one up just in case I forgot. That'll be nice, that. Just change over my drill. Check out this drill bit, it's a bit wibbly wobbly, but it did the job. So I guess I've got to clip it on there before I screw it in. Like that. That's alright, that. The trouble is I can't find my 8mm spanner. If I can find my 8mm spanner I can tighten that up a bit more. Hang on. There we go. That's just a job, that. Better than having it all flappy and catchy. Alright. I'm happy that proof of concept that works, that's okay. So the plan now is to make 2 more of these, get them fitted onto the other side, and take the bumper off and prep it for paint. Right then, here we have it. I've got 4 clips, 1 on the car and 3 here. So not factory, but I am certain they're better than whacking a self-tapper in there. So back under the front of the car and let's get them on there. Once they're on there, pull it all back off, pull the front spoiler back off and get it ready for paint. So now onto the passenger side. This one is out here 50mm, the next one is out 250mm, and then I'll match up that side over there. That's where that side is, it's over there. That's the first one screwed up, screwed in. Hard to see. this angle, the second one 25 centimeters out, so I'll drill that, get that in. Right, here we are, 2 on that end, 2 on that end. I am going to add 1 in the middle, and I'm going to trim, I think, this fiberglass down a little bit because it's not exactly following the curve all the way. So I'll just mark up the front there, or the middle there, and you can trim that off. I shall build another clip and just whack 1 in the middle. Good job, all done. Happy with that. Lovely jubbly. Now get the camera off while I'm upside down again. There's the trim marks, trim line, the line to trim to. There. There's the line I need to trim to. That's what I'm talking about. So if I get that sorted, I can put a clip in the middle as well. So no need to refit it. We can just get on and get her sanded up and ready for paint. Not really the nicest of transitions, so I'll blend it in with some tape and then follow the tape line to cut it, like so. So I could just tidy the whole line up actually by sanding to the tape, because it'd be a bit crooked. Here we go, tasty, nice, clean line, courtesy of the angle grinder. And the old needle file, needle, long nose, whatever, sander. There we go. Nobody'll ever see it, but that's not the point. That's probably it for the day. Getting darkish out there, certainly dark in here. See you later. Actually, I'm pleasantly surprised at how good the surface is on this. It's flattened out really nice. We'll give that a couple of coats of spray polyurethane and block it again. Right, we've got the front spoiler and the bonnet loaded into the old Scooby-Doo, and going to go and get them spray fillered, urethane spray filler, and then get them back here and we can get the splines on them and sand them good. Keep on sanding until you start losing the filler and going through the substrate. If we go through to the substrate before we get rid of that, then we might have a bit of skin normal filler in there. So I think that's probably a sign to stop. And maybe just think about a little skin filler in there, just to cover that. Do the same on this side. Hopefully that's all, well, maybe you can see, it's all wibbly wobbly. And then I take the first few cuts with this. See that coming out now. So this is spray polyurethane filler. It's not primer. It's a U-fold product. Right. Got most of that out there. Still need to do a little bit of filling in there. This is all 120 all the way down. A couple of tiny little divots there. These will still have to be primed. Some of these will maybe be filled with primer. So I'm just going to guide coat this top edge now. I'll do this in 120. And once this is done, I'll guide coat the whole lot again and do it in 180. And okay, as I say, just do that top edge there. Guide coat, and I just forgotten these, I don't know what you call them, spat areas or inner edges, inner surfaces, which we'll deal with as well now. Start to go through to the substrate there, so no need to go any further. You won't really see it either. So actually next is to put a little bit of filler in this area here. Just deal with these moulding marks on the side. That now is filled and sanded mostly to 120. You can see a bit of maybe some 80 scratches still there. Maybe not, maybe there are 120 scratches, we'll see. So filled there, and also filled down here as well. So all those moulding marks have gone. So now I'm going to guide coat it again and go 180. Now I'm recording, but wait 2 minutes, I'll open the gate if you can't. There we go, guide coated. Right then, we're off to do a little bit of work on these little bits and pieces. Front bib, rear spoiler and a boot lid. Bit of a spray urethane filler and some primer on one of the parts. Right, there we go. That's a morning well spent in the spray booth. We've got a front spoiler in grey primer, Philip primer, a boot spoiler and a boot in spray urethane filler. This is actually just in primer, 2K primer, a couple of coats on there. So it's going to want flatting again, but difficult to see because of the light again. You can see that it's pretty nice. So all the brackets are done for the car. It's just really a case of getting it painted in the final gloss red, and yeah, it's ready to fit, I think. So I'm going to call this section done.